Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of MD After Dark here. I'm Michael Hernan here with your boy Andre Tanner once again. It's currently 11:06 tonight, so kind of doing it a little bit earlier than usual. So, Dre, how has Dre been tonight?
Not good. Not making any money again. But, there's only four NBA games. I probably put too many bets on only four NBA games, but there's still some that could hit. I need Moses Moody to get a few more points, or actually a few more of anything, and then just gotta check on the Clippers game. But other than that, nothing really went well for me today. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow is a better slate with some better matchups. Other than that, that's really all I gotta say.
And plus, you kind of get redemption with the Tokyo series right away. That will continue again tomorrow morning. We'll get to the Tokyo series later in this episode. But first of all, we're going to start out with some college basketball. So March Madness officially started today. So you got St. Francis and Alabama State going up against each other, and then North Carolina and San Diego State. So first of all, we're going to start with the game of the day, in my opinion, and that one was St. Francis against Alabama State. Alabama State won 70-68 in this one. Alabama State won on an incredible heave down the court and then eventually with a game-winning layup. What a way to get March started. Just an incredible game overall. And looking at the highlights here, leading the way for St. Francis for stats, they were led by Juwan Cranford Jr., who's been good all year long. He had 18 points for St. Francis. And then for Alabama State, they were led by Amar Knox, who had 16 points, but had 0 assists and 0 rebounds. So that's quite the stat line. So, Dre, did you catch any of this first four game?
Yeah, I did. I watched the first part of it, and then I had to go do something, and then I watched the final like 2 minutes where they ended up fouling. St. Francis fouled Alabama State, and then and then they missed the free throw, and then St. Francis turned it over, and then the crazy heave past half court to get the W was kind of crazy. I don't know also why St. Francis took that poor like 3/4 court shot. You could have at least passed it to half court to get it at least closer to hitting a shot.
Yeah, I would agree there, but man, that's just a tough way to go out, especially for St. Francis. They had a really good year this year. They won the NEC tournament, had momentum beating Central Connecticut, who I thought would win the NEC tournament. Yeah, just to lose on that full court layup. Yeah, that's just a tough way to go out. But I just thought it was interesting how Alabama State actually chucked it down to near the basket because at the back near the basket, the refs are not going to call any like contact or anything because it's basically like a scrum. It comes to scrum and the
Hmm.
refs are not going to call it since it's kind of close to the basket. Meanwhile, forces that scrum. Meanwhile, if it's like half court or the 3-point line, there's a lot of space, so contact would probably be called there. But just an incredible throw, incredible pass, just an incredible way to end off this game. And the tournament is just starting for Alabama State as now they gotta go to Lexington to take on Auburn. No,
Yeah.
no easy task there. So, Dre, do you have any previews about Alabama State and Auburn? And plus, also to mention, these two schools are 55 minutes away from each other. So, you think there could potentially be some bad blood in this potential matchup coming up here?
There won't be no bad blood. The only bad blood that's gonna happen is probably the beatdown that's gonna happen. But other than
Uh,
that, I mean, if they could keep it close and respectable, but I could be completely wrong. I think that game between them two was a very sloppy game. And I feel like Auburn, as the 1 seed, will take advantage of that. But who knows? It's March Madness for a reason.
Yes, indeed. And beat down, that will transition perfectly with our next game we're going to talk about. This was no way, shape, or form the game of the day, but entering, most people thought it would. Boy, North Carolina, absolutely BTA against San Diego State. My goodness. From the start, it looked like it was going to be close. It was 6-6, 6-4. Then North Carolina jumped out to a 27-13 lead. Did not look back. It was 47-23 at halftime. North Carolina would end up winning 95-68, dropping 95 points against that San Diego State defense. My goodness, it was just a beat down. Oh wait, North Carolina actually led by 40 at one point. And
Mm-hmm.
so, my goodness, was it a beat down. Leading scorer for North Carolina was R.J. Davis. He had 26 points. And again, 2 assists and 0 rebounds. Interesting stat line there. Meanwhile, doing the dirty work was Elliot Cadeau, who had 9 points and 12 assists. And also Jalen Withers had a double-double. He had 10 points and 10 rebounds. And meanwhile, for San Diego State, boy, was it rough. The leading scorer was Nick Boyd with 12 points. And then the other guy that scored double digits for San Diego State was Wayne McKinney III with 12. Everybody else scored less than 10 points for San Diego State. So, Trey, what are your thoughts about this beatdown?
It was kind of sad to watch that game, honestly. I mean, it was nice to see, like, honestly, they competed better down by 40 than they did when the game was close. And, like, they didn't even have their starters in, like Bird and the other guy. Who's the other?
Boyd?
Boyd. Yeah, they weren't even in. And you had, like, the backups for San Diego State making 3-pointers. Like, where was this an hour ago when you actually needed it?
So, do you think that San Diego State should have put in their bench earlier?
Honestly, probably. When your team is that cold, you have to change something up.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. And I was just surprised because I was kind of just like trying to do my laundry and that stuff, and all of a sudden I look at the TV. Oh my goodness, it's 14. Then it gets to 30. I'm like, wow, like how did this happen? And it just kind of happened so suddenly. It looked like it was going to be a close game at start, but then North Carolina, boy, North Carolina just could not miss. I'm going to pull up the team stats here. North Carolina shot 52.6% from the field. Compared to San Diego State, it does say they shot 39.7% from the field, but that's just not the case. Because earlier, like in the actual game, like they had 31% and as low as 23% at some point. And then North Carolina, 58.3% from the three. Meanwhile, San Diego State had 29.6% from three. So North Carolina was hitting everything, and the way they were doing that is they were attacking the lane very well against this good San Diego State defense. They just decimated that defense all night long. We're able to get open shots, and we're just able to knock them down. Meanwhile, San Diego State had a rough time. North Carolina's defense looked impressive tonight. That's one of my takeaways I took to this game. North Carolina's offensive defense overall, a complete game for the Tar Heels. Just flawless game for North Carolina. So my question now, after seeing this performance from North Carolina tonight, how far or what is North Carolina's ceiling in this tournament?
I still don't like them going very far, but I could see them beating Ole Miss. But after that, I don't really see them. Their ceiling's probably Sweet 16 because they're going to play another really good team eventually. But after that, I couldn't really see them making much of a move.
So the last first four team to make the Final Four was UCLA back in 2021. Do you see any similarities with North Carolina and that UCLA team that had Tiger Campbell and company?
I mean, you could kind of compare him to like RJ, uh, RJ Davis, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot of comparisons you can make, but those two seem like you could. They're both like the team leaders, and they'll lead them to the promised land. You know what I mean? Like they just seem
yeah,
like it'll be a storybook type of run if they do.
yeah. And plus, you got two blue blood programs as well, and that experience. So we'll see if North Carolina can do it or not. I could definitely see that happening, but right now I have in my bracket Ole Miss beating North Carolina. I had North Carolina winning this game from the start, but I don't know if I would have predicted this outcome. Yeah, this outcome was definitely not expected, especially North Carolina going 1-12 against quad one opponents all year long, and then all of a sudden they pull this. It's it's incredible. It's incredible, like how much you can switch momentum entering March, and North
Hmm.
Carolina just did great with that. And hearing all the noise about how they didn't deserve to be in the NCAA tournament and that stuff, I think they took. I think they took that. I think they took that personally, and they definitely laid a lot of anger tonight on that court. So
Hmm.
yeah, North Carolina will be taking on Ole Miss next. That will be Thursday, and then the the rest of the first four slates will be Mount St. Mary's and American. They will play at 5:40 tomorrow night, and then the other 11 versus 11, you got Texas and Xavier playing in the first four tomorrow night. So big time first four games in the NCAA tournament. Just a nice appetizer before we get into the first round in the NCAA tournament. So that's all for college basketball we will touch on today. So, Dre, you want to talk some Tokyo series?
Sure, why not? Um,
Yeah,
you can go.
yeah. So, for you early birds out there, if you guys caught the game, I personally misunderachieved and only watched from the bottom of the seventh. Yup, shame me in the comments. Shame me. Do it. But the Dodgers has defeated the Cubs in the first game of the MLB season in the Tokyo series, 4-1. Looking at the stats, Tommy Edman had an RB, or Tommy Edman, Teoscar Fernandez, and Will Smith all recorded RBIs for the Dodgers. Dodgers here, pulling up the scoring plays. Tommy Edman got an RBI single so basically all the scoring was done in the fifth inning for the Dodgers. 3 out of the 4
Hmm.
runs happened in the fifth inning. Tommy Edman got an RBI single. Teoscar Hernandez had a RBI fielder's choice, and Will Smith got an RBI single. And then Teoscar Hernandez had an RBI single. So, and then also the only run for the Cubs came in the second inning when Miguel Amaya got a double off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So the Dodgers went 4-1, and the pitching stats. Yep, Yoshinobu Yamamoto took the win for the Dodgers. He pitched 5 innings, allowing 3 hits, and only allowed 1 earned run with 4 strikeouts and a walk. So a really good outing for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Taking the loss for the Cubs is Ben Brown, who pitched 2.5 innings, allowed 4 hits, allowed 2 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts, and allowed 3 walks. And the save for the Dodgers, recording the save for the Dodgers, was newly acquired Tanner Scott, who pitched an inning, no hits, no earned runs, and a strikeout and no walks. So looking at the Tokyo series, Dre, I know you're a Cubs fan. What did you take away from this first game of the Tokyo series?
I mean, I was awake for about the first 3 innings, and then I woke up at the ninth inning. Uh, the first 3 innings were pretty good. I mean, Shota was pitched really well. I don't know why they took him out. Apparently, it was because of his control reasons, even though he had 0 hits given up and like 3 walks. Oh well, he gave up no runs, no hits. And um, Yamamoto honestly did not look as good as what the stats tell you. I mean, he had a lot of full counts. He walked quite a few guys. And then Miguel Amaya destroyed a double at the right center gap in the second inning to score Dansby Swanson. And Matt Shaw, if there was, I still hate the shift because Matt Shaw, 100-mile-per-hour line drive right up the middle, just scooped up by the shortstop, throwing him out at first. It's like, dang, that would have been his first hit. But, I mean, yeah. And then Ben Brown, he got hurt last year, hasn't pitched until this spring training, and then they just expect him. Oh yeah, let's put him against the reigning World Series champs and see how he does. And then he gives up 3 runs, and it's like that's what you got to expect. And then obviously you're not going to score on Tanner Scott in the ninth, so that's pretty. That's all I got.
So wait, did the MLB bring the shift back?
No, so it's not the shift. It was just like how the shortstop, as long as he's standing on the right side of second base, he was
Oh,
literally basically right on top of second base.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. To see if the MLB does anything about it. Well, my thoughts is that, of course, this was a very good baseball game that I watched. I think I know the pitching. Of course, you mentioned something about Yoshinobu Yamamoto only going 5 innings. I think with Yoshimoto Yamamoto getting into all these full counts and allowing all these hits, I think or these contact foul balls. I think that could be the reason why he only went 5 innings instead of going 6 or 7. That's a really good point to bring about for Yamamoto, and that could be something that Yamamoto could fix in the future earlier this year. But overall, I just thought it was a good baseball game. Japan loved it. Of course, when Shohei Ohtani got that double, Japan was going nuts. And of course, like every time Seiya Suzuki went up to bat, I mean, Japan was going crazy. Overall, just a great atmosphere. Overall, a great baseball game. And let's see if I can wake up earlier tomorrow to see if I can watch a little bit more. Cause I thought like when I woke up at 7, I thought it'd be around the 6th inning, but it was the bottom of the 7th, so it must have been a quick moving baseball game. But yeah, clown me in the comment sections for not waking up early. Not true baseball fan for not waking up 5 o'clock in the morning. But anyways, I just thought it was a good baseball game. Overall, good baseball. It was a good turnout. I know your Cubs didn't win and didn't get the result you wanted, but overall, I just think it's gonna be a pretty good sign for both of these teams, putting up a really good game in Tokyo. So now let's move on to a preview of tomorrow's Tokyo Series game. So the projected starters for each team, the projected starter for the Dodgers is Roki Sasaki. He's going to make his major league debut in his home country in Japan. That is definitely a big time storyline. And then the Cubs, they're going to plan on starting Justin Steele. Justin Steele, who was an NL Cy Young candidate 2 years ago. Kind of struggled last year, but let's see if he can get back to his footing from 2 years ago. So, Dre, looking at the pitching matchup and overall, just the matchup overall entering tomorrow's game, what are you looking for? What are you looking at in this game?
I mean, it'll probably be the Dodgers winning again, honestly.
Really?
That just confused me. Yeah. Um, honestly, I could see them getting the win pretty easily because, like I said, Justin Steele's been struggling, but he could shove. You never know. And then Roki Sasaki, he's somebody that nobody on the Cubs has seen before. The Cubs played against Yamamoto last year, but Roki Sasaki will probably have a really good outing in his debut, and I can just already tell you it'll probably not be a good turnout for the Cubs, but you never know.
Do you have faith in Justin Steele?
Somewhat. I mean, when you give up 7 runs in a spring training outing, not a very good look, but other than that, he's a good pitcher, and I don't know. It just all depends on how he pitches, and if he pitches good, then the Cubs will be in it. If he doesn't, and if the Cubs bats are stale like they were yesterday or today, I guess, it will also not be a good outing.
One thing about the MLB I really do enjoy is that when you watch a game, it's like unpredictable. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like anything could happen. Like the Cubs, they look stale yesterday. The bats are dry, but maybe tomorrow morning they all of a sudden just heat up. And maybe the Dodgers, they played a good baseball game yesterday, but they struggle hitting the ball too. Like you never know, but and that's just one of the good things about baseball. Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like yeah, you can expect these things, but then that like something actually happens and it and it works out really well. My opinion, I think the Cubs will respond back. I think the bats will get going eventually in the series in the second game. I think something tells me that Seiya Suzuki is going to have a big game tomorrow. Just being at his home, I think he's got to perform in Japan. And I got questions about Roki Sasaki. I think he could be a great pitcher, and I love your take about him. Like, the Cubs have never seen him before. Like, we don't know what to expect. But also, my thinking is, like, this is Roki Sasaki's first outing, like, ever in the MLB. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto's first outing in Tokyo did not go good at all. So, maybe what if Sasaki's like a Yoshinobu Yamamoto, has a bad first outing in Tokyo, and then eventually turns it around when the season actually goes. Hopefully Sasaki doesn't get hurt in the middle of the season, like the Dodgers dealt with last year. But, it's in Tokyo. It's international baseball. I mean, anything can happen, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think there's going to be a lot more firepower than there was yesterday. I think yesterday was a big pitching matchup. Meanwhile, this time I think there's going to be a lot more light show compared to yesterday. Of course, with the questions of Roki Sasaki and like you said, Justin Steele's been struggling a little bit, but I'm looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be really good, and of course, the Dodgers are still without Mookie Betts. The Cubs are still without Nico Horner. So, timetable for them to return is undisclosed. But anyways, sticking with baseball, I just want to get your chat. Dre, has anything stood out to you in spring training?
Not that I've noticed. I haven't really been paying that much attention. I was earlier in spring training, but now that like the Tokyo series has started, I haven't really been paying that much attention to it.
Yeah, yeah, kind of the same here. I think Tokyo series is definitely taking the attention away from spring training a little bit. But one thing I want to say
Hmm.
about my Brewers is that why are we getting to high scoring affairs? Like I just saw we're up like 4-2 against the Padres like in the second inning and we lost like 14-9. So Brewers, am I gonna have to be worried about the pitching this year again, like last year? Please don't, please don't, please. But anyways, yeah, with the spring training wrapping up, I think everyone's starting to shift more into the regular season. And I'm really looking forward to this MLB season. I think this MLB season is going to be really, really cool, really good. And I think later we might have to give our predictions, but that'll be for another day.
Hmm.
We'll give our MLB predictions in the future. Yeah. So, any more thoughts about the MLB Tokyo series? Anything?
Not that I know of, no.
Alrighty. So we go now from the baseball diamond and we're gonna go to the hockey rink now. So the Canucks and Jets just finished up their game, so the NHL day is done. So let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard recap from tonight. The Canadiens, they defeated the Senators 6-3. Leading the way for the Montreal Canadiens was Josh Anderson. He had 2 goals tonight, and then Nick Suzuki also had a goal. And Christian Dvorak had a great night tonight. He had a goal and 3 assists, a total of 4 points of the night. Impressive work there by Dvorak. And then the Flames, they defeated the Rangers 2-1. Nazem Kadri had a goal and assist for the Flames. Also for scoring a goal for the Flames was Matt Coronado. And then leading the way for the Rangers was Igor Shesterkin, who had 33 saves on the night, but allowing those 2 goals. Sadly, Rangers did not produce any offense in that game whatsoever. More on that in a moment. And then the Islanders have defeated the Penguins 4-2. Leading the way for the Islanders was Noah Dobson. Excuse me, Noah Dobson. He's been pretty good recently, scoring a goal and assists. Also scoring a goal for the Islanders is Pierre Engvall. He scored a goal as well. And then for the Penguins, they were led by Vladislav Koyachinuk. It's a very interesting last name to pronounce there. Koyachinuk. Vladislav Koyachinuk. He had an assist for the Penguins. The Capitals defeated the Red Wings 4-1. The Capitals were led by Tom Wilson, who scored a goal. Tom Wilson has been really good, and he has been in the league for a while now. So impressive stuff that he keeps putting up. Also for the Capitals, Dylan Strome had a goal and assist. And Pierre-Luc Dubois also had a goal for the Washington Capitals. The St. Louis Blues defeated the Nashville Predators 4-1. Jordan Kyrou had 2 goals on the night. Dylan Holloway had 3 assists. And Jake Neighbors had a goal and assist for the Blues. And also the Stars won in overtime against the Anaheim Ducks. So quite a thriller there in Dallas. And Mikael Granlund scored the game-winning goal for the Ducks to get them the win, winning it 4-3. The leading performers for the Dallas Stars, of course, Mikael Granlund, the one that scored the game-winning goal for the Stars. He had 2 goals on the night overall, so great night for Mikael Granlund. And then leading the Ducks was Leo Carlsson, who had 2 goals on the night as well. And also contributing to the Stars was Thomas Harley. He had a goal and 2 assists on the night. The Kraken defeated the Blackhawks 6-2. Leading the way for the Kraken, Adam Larson had a goal and 2 assists. I see your head shaking there. No, you're a Blackhawks fan.
No, I'm more confused on that name and the guy that scored the goal.
Adam Larson?
Yeah,
Yeah, that name sounds familiar, doesn't it?
that's funny.
Yeah, so those that do not know, we actually played against a guy named Adam Larson in high school. So, Adam Larson, if you're ever watching this, we give you a shout out.
D1
It's kind of cool.
basketball player.
D1 basketball player, played for SEMO. That's kind of cool how you play in the NCAA tournament too. Thanks
hmm
for tuning in, if you are out there. And yeah, you dropped 41 points on us, so that's
Yeah, that
also
was
cool.
rough. That was rough.
Yeah, that was rough. So anyways, if you guys watching out there. But this Adam Larson, a defenseman for the Kraken, he had a goal and 2 assists for the Kraken. Also for the Kraken, scoring 2 goals himself was Shane Wright. Shane Wright had a big night with 2 goals. And also Matty Beniers had a goal and assist for the Kraken. And then the Oilers on ESPN, they annihilated the Utah Hockey Club 7-1. Leading the way for the Oilers was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who had a goal and assist. Zach Hyman also had 2 goals and assists for the Oilers. And Matthias Ekholm had a goal and 2 assists for the Oilers. And in the final game of the night, the Canucks defeated the Jets 6-2 in this one. Leading the way for the Canucks was Brock Boeser, who had 2 goals and assists. Also for the Canucks, Pia Suter had 2 goals as well. And then leading the way for the Jets was Nikolaj Ehlers and Alex Iafallo, who had a goal each. So that was your NHL slate of the day. Dre, you have any thoughts other than the Adam Larson thing about today's action in the NHL?
What was the guy that we betted on yesterday? Jonathan what?
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Yeah, he hit his line today. I bet on him. And of course, the guy that you told me to bet on that we put on the TikTok, he didn't hit. And I bet Brady Tikachuk whatever. I
Brady
bet on
Tkachuk.
him. Yeah. I bet on both of them. And of course, the guy we bet on yesterday hit, but the guy that we bet on today didn't hit. So it's like, dude, we're on such a cold streak right now. We gotta figure something out. I'm almost out of money, chat. I gotta go work a job now. Ew.
Yeah, I know working jobs can be tough, but yeah, I took Brady Kachuk because I thought I know the Canadians defense was getting better, but I thought that Brady Kachuk was so Brady Kachuk and could still go, and he had a point in his last 5 games that I
Hmm.
saw, but did not get one tonight. Kind of sold there. So for the people that took our locks today and put them into your bets, we apologize for the second night in a row. We will get better. Trust me, there is a light in the end of the tunnel. We will get through this. We have some cold streaks sometimes. But anyways, yeah, that was kind of a bummer. Anything else you took away from this NHL night?
No, other than the Blackhawks suck. No.
They're still developing. They still got young talent that they need to figure out. Hey, at least they got rid of Seth Jones' contract.
Yes.
There's Blackhawks fans. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me, I'm a Minnesota Wild fan. That Kirill Kaprizov injury is still bugging me. I'm still just waiting for the return of Kirill Kaprizov. So then the Wild can start winning again and actually place top 3 in the Central Division. Please, I'm begging you, please. We need Kirill Kaprizov, bro. All right, and then we have some breaking news in the college basketball landscape. So Darren DeVries, who just coached at West Virginia this year, it only coached his first season at West Virginia, has now been named the Indiana head coach, men's basketball head coach. So Mike Woodson is retiring for Indiana this year. So Darren DeVries is leaving West Virginia and he's now going to Indiana. It looks like I don't think I have a contract yet, but that's some big news in college basketball. Literally just 2 days after West Virginia was announced that they will not be making the NCAA tournament, Darren DeVries leaves Morgantown, West Virginia, and heads to Bloomington, Indiana. So, Dre's, do you have any thoughts about this move, about Darren DeVries leaving West Virginia to go to Indiana?
Um, Other than Indiana will probably suck again next year. No, I don't really have anything.
I just think that that's interesting. Like, this just proves that there's just no loyalty in college sports at all. Like,
Hmm.
you see this happening all the time in college football and now in college basketball. And I think that Indiana probably has more money, more NIL deal revenue, and plus they're a blue blood college basketball program. When you think basketball, you think Indiana. Indiana is basically the state for
Hmm.
basketball. So that could definitely be one of the big reasons why Darian DeVries left West Virginia to go to Indiana. And plus, his son, Tucker, he played at West Virginia this year. He is a senior. So, and I think he did suffer a season ending injury. So, we'll see. Is Tucker DeVries, we're going to search this up, is Tucker DeVries eligible for next year? Let's see. Yeah, Tucker DeVries is expected to transfer. So, it looks like Tucker DeVries is probably going to be an Indiana Hoosier next year. So, Jay, let me get your thoughts on this. If Tucker DeVries transfers to Indiana, do you think you said that Indiana won't do good next year, but if Tucker DeVries joins this Indiana team, do you think that Indiana could be something?
No, I do not. I mean, you're already graduating. Mackenzie and Baco, Omar Ballo, they're both going to the draft, I would assume. Um, and they don't even know if Tucker DeVries is going to Indiana. So, I mean, I don't even know who else they have on the roster, to be honest.
I mean, they still have. I know Luke Goody. He can be a bucket.
He's,
He was just.
yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to get a waiver to play his 5th year. We'll see
But if
if
he doesn't, I would
that.
assume he'd go to the draft.
Yeah, and plus, you never know about the transfer portal. I mean, Omar Ballo and Luke Goody are both transfer portal pickups. So we'll see if DeVries brings some bring some transfers to him as well. I mean, he did do that successfully at West Virginia when he was, because he was before West Virginia, he was the coach at Drake, had a really good tenure at Drake. Especially, I remember Tucker DeVries and Darnell Brody. Those were dogs. And of course, Darnell Brody is graduated now, but Darian DeVries is really good in the transfer portal, so I think you'll get some good transfers. Recruiting might be questionable from high school, but I think it's Indiana, and plus Indiana like is the state of basketball. I think it will be a hot place to go for recruits. And you've seen in the past, like these one and done players for Indiana, like Romeo Langford. I know he hasn't really transferred well in the NBA, but you look at Khalil Ware. I don't know if he was a one and done or not, but he's doing really well with the Miami Heat right now. So, I mean, Indiana can produce NBA talent, and I think with this move to to Indiana, I think Darren DeVries can definitely bring transfers, and I think that he could definitely bring in recruits as well. But it's going to be a process um, after replacing Mike Woodson. And of course, Indiana did miss the NCAA tournament this year, so we'll see what the rebuilding process looks like for Darian DeVries in Indiana. Just very shocking story. I was very shocked to see that result on my news. So anyways, from the college ranks now, let's head to the professional ranks. Let's go to the NBA. Let's look at the NBA recaps. Right now, at the time of recording, there is still 2 games going on left, but one of those games there's 12.6 seconds left, and that's including my Bucks. So by the time I get through the rest of the games, the game's over anyways. But anyway, yeah. But anyways, there was only four games on in the NBA tonight. So first off, the Atlanta Hawks decimated the Charlotte Hornets. This is nothing new. The Hawks winning 134 to 102. Boy, it has been a rough season for the Charlotte Hornets. Leading the way for the Atlanta Hawks was Trae Young, who put up 31 points, 8 assists, and 3 steals. Meanwhile, leading the way for the Hornets was Daquan Jeffries, who had 19 points. That's maybe a career high for Daquan Jeffries.
I don't think it is.
Oh, it's not? But definitely a good performance. Definitely one of his better performances. And then also, the Celtics defeated the Nets 104 to 96. Leading the way for the Celtics was Kristaps Porzingis, who had a double-double with 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And the Nets were led by D'Angelo Russell, who had 18 points and 7 assists. And then the game that just ended just now, the Warriors defeated the Bucks 104 to 93. Jimmy Butler had 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. So 2 rebounds shy
Of a triple double.
of triple-double. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, this stat line, he had 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Still pretty good, but compared to Giannis standards, that is a down night for the Bucks as they kicked off their first game in their West Coast road trip in a loss. And then right now we got the Clippers are up on the Cavs, 115 to 107 at the time of recording this. There's still 7 minutes and 33 seconds left of the fourth quarter. You guys might be thinking, Michael, what are you doing? Why are you recording the podcast when the game is still going on? That is criminal. Jail. Sorry. Trying to get some sleep for the Tokyo series. Alright. So, anyways, the Cavs just scored a free throw. Technical foul free throw shooting. Anyways, so Dre, the 3 games that we discussed, Hawks, Hornets, Nets, Celtics, and Bucks and Warriors, what are your takeaways from tonight?
That in the Nets game, every single player in the Nets hit their parlay line except for Cam Johnson. I am being 100%. Zaire Williams, I bet on him on a different parlay. He hit every single one of his lines. D'Angelo Russell did. He like doubled his rebound line, and I didn't do that. Keon Johnson did his line. Nick Claxton had his line, and I don't know if anybody else on the bench had a line, but Cam Johnson, only player in the starting lineup to not get his points, rebounds, assists, anything, or all of them. And of course, guess who's the guy that bet on him? This guy. And so it's just like we're struggling, but oh yeah, Donovan Mitchell made a technical free throw. That was the technical free throw you're talking about. But yeah, we're on a cold streak. That's all right. But yeah, I mean, Celtics got the win. That's mostly expected even without Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Uh, Pretty sure Derek White had a pretty good game. Kristaps Porzingis led the team, I'm pretty sure, with 20 something points. But yeah, and then the Hawks, they're always just mid, but they beat the Hornets. It's the Hornets. I mean,
Yep.
they also didn't have LaMelo, but yeah, that's it's whatever. And then the Bucks and the Warriors. Warriors get a bounce back win. But other than that, I don't know. Bucks kind of played down a competition again, and then
Go
at the
figure.
moment at the moment of recording, Cavs are down by 8 with 6:15 left in the fourth. Never mind, they're down by 5. Isaac Coro just made a 3-pointer. Um, so yeah, I've now decided that anytime there are. Oh, sorry, it was a 2-pointer, I guess. But yeah, I'm just gonna start only doing 2-leg parlays and putting $1 on them. That's what I'm gonna do now until I have about $50 in my account, hopefully, and then we're gonna move on. We're gonna just give out locks because I'm only gonna have like $3 in my account, so that's three or 2-leg parlays for tomorrow. And guess what? We're locked in. We're locked in.
We're
If we don't hit tomorrow, comment your uh Cash App in the comments, and I will give somebody $50 if we don't hit tomorrow. I sound like those people. I
Oh,
sound like those people
look.
on TikTok. Hey, we gotta lock in though. We gotta lock in.
Yes. So you got potential giveaway.
Maybe that'll get us more subscribers.
Could be. Hey, potential giveaway. First ever on the podcast. Get the
Yeah,
community involved. You know,
yeah.
that's not a bad idea. I'll
Eh.
see if I can. Maybe I might fund it on some of that. But
No, we're
anyways,
gonna
yeah,
hit, so it doesn't matter. We're locked in.
yeah, yeah, we're locked. We are going to be locked. Locked in, ready. Who cares about that test tomorrow? We're locked in on this.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Don't worry. I'm still going to do on that test. But anyways, I'm just looking at tonight. I'm looking at the Bucks, and we only scored 93 points tonight. And I'm gonna check the. Oh my god, yeah. Giannis went 5 for 16 from the field.
Yeah, and his first shot was a 3-pointer, and he missed the 3-pointer. And guess who bet on him making his first shot? This guy. And guess who also would have hit for a pretty good amount of money if Giannis would have made his first shot? This guy, because Evan Mobley and Kristaps both made their first basket, and Giannis didn't. Why are you taking a 3-pointer on your first shot? Just go down and dunk the ball.
Yeah, I agree. Like that's basically your main game. At that point, it's just settling. Like I don't know. Giannis had a rough night tonight. Of course, half of his points tonight came at the free throw line. He went 10 for 15 on the free throw line. And yeah, that 3-point shot was the only one he attempted to. So, oh boy.
That's bad. And just so you guys
Yeah.
know, I am not giving away $50. Maybe a little bit less if we don't hit because I feel bad, but I do not have the funds right now to give away $50.
And that's okay because we all start somewhere.
Literally.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But I have news. I have news. So you know how we were
Oh,
talking about yesterday that Quentin Grimes has officially broken out after his 46-point game?
yeah.
We have news that Paul George has been shut down for the remainder of the season with a left knee injury. So, yeah. Paul George finishes with 41 games, so he played just exactly half the games this season. And yeah, he averaged 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and almost 2 steals on 32 minutes. But yeah, I mean, at least he's not Embiid, who's playing
Oh
less than
boy.
20 games. But yeah, other than that,
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah, Paul George's contract has been a miss this year, I would say. He's definitely been underperforming, but that whole 76ers team is just underperforming. I'm just looking here at Paul George's contract. He is locked through 2026-27 season. He does have a player option available for the 2027-2028 season. And then in the summer of 2028, he is going to be a free agent. So after this year, you got 2 more guaranteed years of him. And then plus if if the 76ers decide to pick up his option or Paul George decides to pick up the option, who knows? But anyways, we'll see so my question now to you, Dre, what does the future look like for both Paul George and Joel Embiid for the 76ers?
Um, Joel Embiid hopefully will get traded, but honestly, they both probably should get traded. But Embiid will be for more, and Paul George will just be to dump his contract to a team that will accept it. So yeah,
And do you have any trade destinations for Embiid and George? Any ideal ones?
not at the moment. I do not. It's too early to tell.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe for Embiid, maybe the Lakers might if they're.
I
I
don't know
mean,
about that.
they need a center.
The Lakers need a center.
The the Lakers need a center.
Yo, I really need Kawhi Leonard to get one more rebound. All right, that's it. Welcome. Second alley appearance of the podcast.
Yes.
Stop it. Oh,
Yeah.
no way. Did Kawhi just get a sixth rebound? Oh, no, I was only his fifth. Dang. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. So looking at Joel Embiid, and I did hear some news about Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid is going overseas to get the same exact treatment that Kobe Bryant got. So career
Are we
resurrection for Joel
comparing
Embiid.
Joel Embiid to Kobe Bryant right now?
I
That's
just
crazy.
saw
No,
it's
I
just
know, I
something.
know, I know, I know, I know. I'm just saying. He's trying to compare himself to Kobe Bryant, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We'll see if that helps anything. But I mean, I guess I saw like memes about him all of a sudden becoming Shaquille O'Neal after getting the surgery.
Bro, if he
Or
does, that's crazy.
yeah, that'd be a great career arc. I'm all in for it. I'm all in for it.
Literally.
I mean,
A
when Joel
comeback
Embiid
story of the ages.
when Joel Embiid is healthy, he's one of the best centers in the league. But that's if he's healthy. If he
Mm-hmm.
plays a whole entire 82 game season. But I don't. Has he ever played a full 82 game season?
I am not familiar with that stat. I think not.
I don't think so either.
Because
That's
I didn't even play his first 2 seasons.
no, he didn't. He didn't really break out until 2019
Yeah, that was the year they went to the conference finals, lost to Kawhi on the Is this
or
the
conference
dagger? Duh,
conference
duh, duh.
semifinals.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the
No, it
76ers
wasn't.
had.
Oh yeah, because the Bucks lost to the Raptors in the championship. I remember that now.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Haha.
I remember we both played a baseball game, and I came home to Game 5 and saw that we lost. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, I knew once we lost that Game 5, it's pretty much over. But dude, I will never forget when the Bucks were up 2-0 in that series against Raptors, when both Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry were both dropping 30 a night. And I just hear Stephen A. Smith go up and say, "This series is over. This series is over." When you got Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard dropping 30 points a game, this series is over. There is no way that the Raptors are coming back from this. And then all of a sudden, they just win four straight. Really? You really had to pull up against us. And of course, you remember Drake sitting on the
Yeah,
sidelines.
yeah.
Drake had a
Oh
six.
man.
Drake was a very happy guy back then.
Now he's
Now, nowadays, recently just losing this battle to Kendrick Lamar. It's rough. Very rough for Drake right now. Hey, at least in 2019, he was happy. His favorite team did win the NBA Finals.
hmm
So yeah, that's pretty much. We're gonna come back to the NBA once the Cavs and Clippers games wrap up. It is 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in that one. So meanwhile, while we wait for that game to finish, let's talk some potential picks they might receive in tomorrow. These are not locks. These are just potential picks. So Dre, what are your picks that you could be seeing that you might put into the TikTok tomorrow?
Well, now that I can actually look, oh wow, they boosted Quentin Grimes a lot. His line on Monday was 20 and a half. Now it's 25 and a half.
Oh boy.
Um, okay. Um, ooh, that's pretty decent. But he hasn't been rebounding very well. I was gonna say, okay, nope. Here's one. Oh, 13 and a half. Come on. All the lines are so boosted.
Yeah, I hate that when that
Chicago and
happens.
Phoenix. Jokic's line's only 8.5. Oh, Giddy's playing, but his line's at 8.5 as well for rebounds. But Jokic did just have a double double against Utah. But his line's only okay. I might go there and then Memphis and Portland. What is Edie's line's 8.5? Klingen's line's 10.5. Hmm. I mean, from just looking, my best pick right now. What's Tyrese's assist line? 9.5. That's decent. PJ Washington, 16.5 points. That could be a pretty solid one against Indiana. But I think my best choice is uh, Vucevic versus the. Wow, his is only 15 points too. So I guess he hasn't really been shooting very well. And Kobe White's again, they're just boosting the lines at this point. Kobe White's up to 26 points. I mean, I think I could go Vucevic for over 8.5 rebounds against a poor rebounding team like the Suns. When your starting center is Nick Richards, there's a problem.
Yeah,
He
boy.
hasn't
This.
his last two games. He has 4 rebounds and 6 rebounds, and then he had 12 against Memphis in 20 minutes. 3 games before that because he didn't play. Oso Iguodaro, he actually has been rebounding pretty well. But other than that, maybe the lines will go down tomorrow. See, Trey Jones's line for assists now is only 6.5, so they must play better defense than other teams. Denver and LA. Make sure you go and get your discounted Luka Doncic pick because they do that every single time he plays. Um, I mean, I could still see Walker Kessler getting 14 rebounds against the whatchamacallit, the Wizards. Alex Sarr's line is 7.5. I would go lower on that, especially against Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler's a great rebounding center. AJ Johnson, his PRA line's 23. He hasn't dropped that at all season. That's probably a lower for me. Kyle Filipowski, what's his rebounding line? It's 10 as well, and he hasn't. I don't know. I don't. There's a lot of these bad lines, but I'm only going to be putting in a few parlays every day now. Let's look at. I mean, Philadelphia. I mean, I still feel like I should bet on Quentin Grimes because he's dropped 20. He's dropped 30. he had 46, 28, 29, 35. It's like, wow. Yershon Yabusele, how do you go from 15 rebounds to 6?
That is a good question.
I
And
don't know. I think
also,
continue.
I was gonna say, with Quentin Grimes now breaking out, you know how bad that makes certain GM in Dallas look?
Yeah, because you traded Caleb Martin for him,
Yeah,
or you traded for
yeah,
Caleb Martin. It's like, wow, you made the
yeah.
76ers look good for once. But yeah, I think I would go either PJ Washington points, which he'll end up not hitting because, you know, oh yeah, Cam Johnson's been averaging 25 points a game. He can't even get 17. Or Vucevic over 8.5 rebounds against Phoenix. Those are my two picks. Michael, do you have anything? I mean, college basketball, there really isn't that much tomorrow as well. But you do have Xavier in Texas. Obviously, our man, Trey Johnson, for everybody who wants to know, the only 8-leg parlay we ever hit, I was up jumping on my chair that I'm currently sitting on right now because Trey Johnson hit like over 17 points or something, and we hit for $108, and now all of that's gone. But okay, hey, I
Uh,
took some out of there. I
hey,
withdrew some of that. I mean,
yeah,
what's Zach Freemantle? Isn't he on Xavier? Yeah, he is.
yeah,
Wow,
Xavier, he's
only
a
8 rebounds. I guess he really hasn't been rebounding that well lately. But yeah, I mean, you can take what you want, but those are my few picks.
I mean, I think you look at Zach Freemantle. I mean, if Texas comes out flat and they start playing nervous and they start missing shots, rebounding opportunities for Freemantle. I mean, that's another thing. You look at the NCAA tournament, like teams are going to start like having the jitters, March Madness jitters. So maybe look for a lot of rebounds coming for these forwards in this March Madness tournament. Just something to think about because you looked at St. Francis, they kind of looked jittery at the beginning, but then they started getting better, and same as Alabama State. But yeah, these teams that come up with jitters, start looking at some rebounding lines. And then, all right, we just got an update. This is the final thing we're going to talk about. So the Cavaliers and Clippers game just ended. The Clippers have defeated the Cavaliers 132 to 119. Kawhi
Oh,
Leonard led
Kawhi got his rebounds! Yes!
7 rebounds in total for Kawhi Leonard.
So
He
what did
also
I
had
get? Hang on, what did I get? Allie, stop.
yes.
Wait, is that the wrong one? Don't tell me that's a different one. Oh no, it's this one. 74 cents. Hey, we'll take that. That's why you flex your parlays. But no, that'll get me an extra dollar.
Exactly. So very quickly here, so yeah, the Clippers defeat the Cavs 132 to 119. Kawhi Leonard had 33 points. The parlay hitting 7 rebounds and 4 steals. And then the Cavs were led by Max Strus with 24 points.
Yeah, I was going to point that
So
out. His line was 9 points. I bet on him. And of course, the one parlay I bet on him, Curry and LaMelo didn't play.
that is very interesting.
That's rough. Get it?
Yeah.
Rough, Allie? All right. That's enough.
All right. You got any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
No. Just hopefully, I can make some money tomorrow and we can step up our game.
I think everybody wishes that as well, including the people on TikTok. So yeah, don't forget about our TikTok, please. Our promo codes are like BearsOG24 or MichaelHearn3428 or something like that. Please follow the TikTok. We'll give you sports betting updates or sports betting tips and locks every single day on the TikTok. Please follow the TikTok and all that stuff. If you're watching this for the first time, reach this far, wow, that's impressive. Don't mind us, please, you don't, give us a subscribe, don't, whatever, it's your life, but I highly recommend subscribing too. First shameless plug we got out there. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far, wow, you're a legend. Yeah, Michael Hernan here with Andre Tainter, wishing you all a very good night. Have a good night. It is currently 12:05 here, so have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.